once again to the lesson, that is national movement in India, partition and independence 1939 to 1947. You can see very clearly in the last lesson how in the last session how the Britishers have divided the unity of the Indians. That is first thing. Second thing is why the Muslim League was afraid of this interference of the Congress. That is the second one. And now we will see what are the different steps that are taken by Muslim League for the promotion of its strength and where it has won the elections in the year 1946 with complete majority. What are the several incidences that happened in India during this particular period? Already we have seen that due to this divide and rule policy, many of the Congress leaders, they have resigned, and with which Congress they did not take any step for launching a massive agitation. They did not take like a civil disobedience or like non-cooperation movement like that. They did not announce any of the movements at that particular time, and single individual or independent satyagrahas were launched by the Congress. Taking this as an advantage, the Muslim League, they started gaining their power. They started gaining their power because even you remember that Britishers, they started encouraging the interest of the Muslim League. They started encouraging the interest of the Muslim League. And here you can see very clearly, observe the statement of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. What did Dr. B.R. Ambedkar say? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said that no doubt Pakistan is a scheme to be observed, where Congress, where Hindu majority people were governed by the Congress. We cannot leave these minorities at the sweet interest of these Hindu majorities. Means what is that he is pointing here? He is pointing very clearly that to protect the interest of these minorities, the government or the Britishers should not leave the power into the hands of these majority of the Hindu dominated Congress. This is the opinion of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And now the same is the contention even in the minds of many of the Muslim leaders also. See the incidences, what happened during this particular 1930 or 1940 like this, which caused the rise of the Muslim League. See, you know very well the song, no? Sare Jahan Se Acha. Who wrote that? It was written by Muhammad Iqbal. You know very well. So Muhammad Iqbal, who is the writer of this song, Sare Jahan Se Acha, he has identified the need of recognizing the rights of the people, those who are living in the northwest part of our country. Actually, they are more demanding for the autonomy or more rights for the Muslim people living in this particular part. So what did he say? Muhammad Iqbal said that Northwest Indian Muslim state means there is a need to recognize the autonomy of the people of northwest part of the Indian Muslim state, and he demanded that we shall have the organization, or we shall have the organizing ourselves into a state where northwest part of India is there. Like that he demanded for the first time in the year 1930. Later, after that, another actually student, he is a student of Cambridge University. He has come out with the demand of recognizing a complete independent state in the name of the Pakistan. When he is writing pamphlets about different needs of the people living in that particular area, he has given out the name that is Pakistan. So what he is intended to say when he is calling it as Pakistan, he is referring to the people, those are living in the areas of P for Punjab, A for Afghanistan, K for Kashmir, S for Sindh, and Stan, that is representing the Balochistan. So he wanted to represent the interest of all the people, those are living in the areas of Pakistan. Means when he is writing pamphlets regarding the needs of the people living in these areas, he called that particular area as the Pakistan. Even Muslim League, they did not take into consideration this name, or they did not think about that. Just they have left, because that happened in the year 1933 to 1935. When he was studying there, he wrote the pamphlet. So at that particular time, even Pakistan was also, when the name Pakistan was coined also, these Muslim League, they did not consider that much. But later, after some time, what happened? The people, they started, that means these, they started 1937, when the Britishers, they started raising the doubt by using the divide and rule policy. Now they understood, now the Muslim League also understood that we should take care of all these things. Then the name was given priority at that particular time. But 1933 to 35, when he wrote, nobody has even given a single call for that. But after some time, 1937, 1939, during that particular period, they were giving more and more importance by looking on to that particular pamphlets. And next thing what we should understand is, after that, on 23rd of March 1940, 23rd of March 1940, the Muslim League, they met and they have taken certain decisions. They have taken certain decisions demanding more autonomy for the Muslim population. They demanded what? They demanded more autonomy for the Muslim population. When they started demanding more autonomy for the Muslim population, at that particular time, they were thinking about only the rights that are to be given to the Muslim population. But they never and ever have an idea of having a separate state Pakistan. That was not there in the minds of the people at that particular time. But after this, what happened? After this 1940, when they were looking on to the demands of the people, at that particular time, Muslim League, especially Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he was asking so many demands for the sake of these Muslim people. Means there were so many conditions, there were so many demands on behalf of the Muslims raised by this Muhammad Ali Jinnah. So even Congress was also not able to accommodate all the demands, because suppose when Muslim League demanded that a separate electorate should be given, Congress supported that and a separate electorate was given in the year 1909. Means like that, whenever there is a justification in the demands of the Muslim League, Congress supported that. But for the first time they were annoyed. For the first time, because Ali Jinnah, he was raising so many demands that the Congress was unable to accommodate to meet the interest of all the sections of the society. All the sides, Jinnah was demanding on behalf of the Muslims. But those demands may not accommodate the demands of all the other communities. We have to get a compromise such that all the demands of all the sections of the society will be met. But unfortunately, Jinnah was reluctantly demanding only for the Muslim population. Means the Congress was also unable to meet those demands. And even Britishers, they were actively raising these Jinnah's voice and Jinnah's demands. Like this, the Britishers, they encouraged the divide and rule policy and made these Congress and Muslim League to get separated. This is what happened up to 1940. Then how the Muslim League, they are able to convince the Muslim masses by raising their strength. How? That means you can divide the total society into different sections. First one is, let us see that peasants. The Muslim peasants. The Muslim peasants, they were actively supported. The Muslim peasants were actively supported by Muslim League by saying that they will be free from the exploitation of the Hindu landlords. Means the peasants are very happy. If they go for a separate state, that is Muslim state, definitely they will be having a complete freedom from the exploitation of the Hindu landlords. They are happy. They can have the lands. This is the intention. Second thing is, the job seekers, the traders, the businessmen, they started feeling that they can be completely free from the competition of the Hindus. Without any competition, the businessmen can lead their business, the traders can have their trade, and the job seekers can get the job. With this, all the people, they got attracted to the demand that is a separate state. And third one is the Muslim elite. They started feeling that they can have the rule. They can have the rule. They can become the rulers. And even they will be having more freedom of religion. More freedom of religion. So with all these things, that means by these four contentions, Muslim League, they are able to convince the Muslim masses in favor of the demand of a separate state Pakistan. See here, once you observe children, from 1940 onwards, there were several steps, or there were several demands that were raised by Muslim League, which were not accommodated by the Congress. Hence, there were several alternative solutions. When Jinnah was proposing these demands, okay, if this is the demand, we will go like this, we will go like this. Like this, they have separate alternatives. In that, one of the alternative is partition, or one of the alternative is to form a separate state. Means several alternatives were there. Okay, Jinnah is demanding this. Okay, instead of that, you can take this. Like that, they were saying. Negotiations were there. Means for the unity of the country, Congress, they were asking for a separate alternative. But now slowly what happened? Okay, Congress is unable to give us, or the Britishers are unable to give us. Okay, let us not take into consideration, let us go for the separate country. Let us ask for a separate country. Like that, slowly the contention for a separate country started momentum. And with this, this has started. That means with the rise of the demand for the separate country, Pakistan began from 1940 onwards actively. By using this demand, they mobilized the Muslim masses by attracting them into their sway. See, you can see that how they have attracted the peasants. The Muslim peasants, they were attracted by the Muslim League by saying that they are free from the exploitation of the Hindu landlords if a separate country, Pakistan, is formed. Second thing is the traders, businessmen and the job seekers, they can have their own options without having any competition from the Hindus. That is the second thing. Third thing is all the religious people, they were mobilized at this particular point. That is they can have more freedom of religion in a separate country. And finally, they are able to attract the Muslim elite by saying that if we have a separate country, definitely we will be having the rule in our hands. So you become the rulers. With this, they are able to get the attention of all the Muslim masses. They are able to attract the masses towards the Muslim League. And they gained a strength for the demand that is a separate state. Like this, the movement was there from 1940 onwards. Now in the year 1941, when Japan started expanding its territories, as a part of that, it started expanding even into the Southeast Asia. And it started entering into the zones of Malaysia or Indonesia in these regions. To protect the interest of the Britishers, now the Britishers, they need the support of the Indians. They need the support of the Indians. Hence, Churchill, he has sent Stafford Cripps, Sir Stafford Cripps, in the year 1942 to make a compromise with Congress such that Indians would support them in fighting a war against Japan. So understood? Sir Stafford Cripps, he came to India in the year 1942 to make a compromise with Gandhiji and Congress such that they would participate on behalf of the British in the war against Japan. This was given, but when Cripps he has come to India, he asked what are the demands of the Congress or what are the demands of this Gandhiji. Then Congress demanded that at least one member from India should be there in the Executive Council of the Viceroy. That means in the Central Assembly, in the Executive Council of the Viceroy, which is the executive part, there at least one member should be there from India. Now all the members are from the Britain only. So when all the members are from Britain, how they will represent the interest of the Indians? It is not possible to represent the interest of the Indians when all the members are the Britain. So now they started saying that we want the representation of at least one Indian member in the Central Executive Council such that the representation may enhance the position of the people of India. Like that the Congress has demanded. And this was not acceptable to the British, and hence the talks were a failure. So the Cripps mission failed. And Cripps mission went back. So immediately Gandhiji has taken a decision of announcing the Quit India movement. So Quit India movement was launched by Gandhiji in the year 1942. See here, 1937 elections, 1939 resignation. From 1939 to 1942, there was no massive movement launched by Congress, and Muslim League, they started gaining their strength. For the first time in the year 1942, once again Gandhiji has announced the Quit India movement. With this Quit India movement, what happened? Congress, they have taken a decision, that is do or die. Let us get independence or die in this movement, but we should win independence for our country. This is the slogan given by Gandhiji in Do or Die. And as a part of this Quit India movement, all the Congress leaders were arrested, including Gandhiji. Everyone, they were arrested, they were kept into the prison, and the movement was taken very seriously by the youngsters in the Congress. All the youngsters, they have come out of their colleges, universities, jobs, they left everything and they have come out and they participated very actively by saying that British, you quit India. British, you quit India. Now, this is the main intention. Now, at that particular time, what happened? Some of the socialist leaders like Jayaprakash Narayan, they went underground and means secretly. Underground means secretly. They started working secretly, mobilizing the people against the British. And this particular active participation of the socialist leaders like Jayaprakash Narayan made the people to think about the contribution of the country for the welfare of the people, and as a part of that, in Satara and Midnapur, they have announced even independent governments. Means they have formed the government. The leaders in Satara, the leaders in Midnapur, they have formed the Indian independent government, and by rejecting the authority of the Britishers has to suppress this with a very lots of difficulty. They are able to suppress that only after 1 year. After 1 year only they are able to suppress. But meanwhile, this spread like a very wild fire, and this has reached on to the masses very fastly, very fastly. So like this, these particular contention, that is Quit India movement, has given rise for this. Now here comes the doubt. Okay, this is the path adopted by Congress and Gandhiji. There were several paths that were adopted during this particular period. 1942, another leader, that is Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose, along with the Indian National Army, he wanted to make the Britishers to quit India. He wanted the Britishers to make quit India. Means what here? Whether the Congress or Gandhiji will make the Britishers to quit India, or whether INA would make the Britishers to quit India. And one more country, that is Japan. Japan, being an imperialistic nation, it also started occupying or conquering the areas that are under the Britishers. So, whether Japan would make Britishers to quit India, these are the three active doubts. These are the three. And how many people are there to protest against this British? Gandhiji and Congress, one side, Quit India movement. Second side is INA, led by Subhash Chandra Bose. And the third one is Japan. Being an imperialistic nation, they would they fight against the Britishers and make India completely independent. These are the three ways that were there in the year 1942. But what happened was, when Gandhiji has adopted this Quit India movement, it got lots of following. Gandhiji was against to the principle of Japan making the Britishers to quit India. Why? What is the reason? Japan itself is an imperialist nation. Then how can Japan be the liberator of India? This is the question. Suppose Britishers are there, Japan fought with Britishers were defeated, then who will become the ruler of India? Japan, obviously. Then how that we can become independent? This is the question of Gandhiji. So Gandhiji was not in favor of thought that Japan would be the liberator of India. This is one thing. And second thing is the Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose, he adopted a policy of taking aggressive steps to fight against the Britishers. Why he has got the idea? Why the people has got the idea? Japan, being the imperialist nation, started attacking onto these Britishers and occupying the nations. Japan, being an Asian nation, you know that Japan is very, very small nation, and this very small nation, an island country, is able to defeat a vast empire, that is the European nations. Means they are able to understand that when Japan is able to defeat these European nations, why can't we? Even we can also defeat the Britishers. This is another idea. So here two ideas are there. First one is the initial victories of Japan and Germany has given rise for a hope that the Europeans would be defeated very soon. First thing. Second thing is, not only that, the second thing is these European nations, especially when they are defeated by small country like Japan, why can't we defeat and we can also win the war against the Britishers? So this has removed the initial victories of Japan, had removed the myth. Myth means what? False thought, or that means it is not a true thing. It is only a myth. This myth, what is that myth? The racist supremacy of the Europeans. What that initial victories of Japan made? The initial victories of Japan removed the myth of the racist supremacy of the Europeans. That is the reason when Subhash Chandra Bose formed that Indian National Army, that most of the Indians, they have joined into the army. So let us learn about this Indian National Army. Indian National Army, it was formed by Subhash Chandra Bose And Subhash Chandra Bose, he was very active in mobilizing the people to fight against the British with the help of the army. So he thought that it is better to take the help of Germany or Japan to fight against these Britishers. So he went secretly to Germany. From there he went to Japan, convinced the Japan to form the army with the help of prisoners of war. Actually, who are these prisoners of war? In Malaya and in Burma, in these two areas, Britishers were defeated by the Japan. Actually, these Britishers army, it consisted of the Indian army only, no? So, the Indian soldiers who were fighting on behalf of this Burma and Malaya, they were captured by Japan, and these were held by these prisoners of war were held by the Japan. By taking these prisoners of war, INA was formed by Subhash Chandra Bose, and he started a war. He declared a war. Then were they not afraid that they will be defeated by these Britishers? How they have joined this INA? Very simple. The reason is Japan being the winner against these large nations, we can also win. With this, many of the Indians, they have joined that. They started fighting, but unfortunately after 1945, what has happened to Subhash Chandra Bose, we don't know. Whether he has disappeared or whether he died, we don't know. And there are several contentions regarding this. We will discuss that in later stages. So, like this, what happened? These contentions, these fears and INA, all these things were a part of the different measures that were taken for the liberation or for the independence of our country. These are the different topics that are there. And now children, the most important thing here what we need to observe is, see the difference between Gandhiji and Subhash Chandra Bose ideologies. Gandhiji, he wrote a letter to Hitler by saying that I know I was asked by my friends to write a letter to you. I know that it would not be an importance thing to you, and it may be an impertinence, but even then I should make a trial in preventing the war. In my opinion, you are the only person who can prevent the war. Means he knows the dangers of war, so he wrote a letter to Hitler by asking him to stop the wars for the promotion of the peace. But whereas you can see very clearly the intentions of the other people. No doubt Subhash Chandra Bose is a great patriot. He wanted to fight for the sake of the country. Sacrifice the life, no doubt at all. But Subhash Chandra Bose has adopted another path. That is, by fighting the Britishers only we can get the independence. For getting independence, two different paths were chosen. Two different paths. Gandhiji launched the Quit India movement. Subhash Chandra Bose has taken the INA. Which one has given independence? Which one would be a correct one? We cannot decide. We cannot decide because both are correct only. Both are correct. But which has given or which has liked by most of the people, which was followed, that has given the success in gaining independence to India. Okay, this is the story of Quit India movement and the INA. Once again, quickly we will go into the different parts of the lesson. The demand for a northwest Indian state, the northwest Indian state or Indian Muslim state was raised by Muhammad Iqbal, Sare Jahan Se Acha writer. Chaudhry Rahmat Khan from 1933 to 35 in the pamphlets mentioned the name Pakistan. 23rd March 1940, Pakistan resolution was taken. Actually it was not called as Pakistan resolution at that particular time, but slowly it got the name, that is Pakistan resolution. When Jinnah was demanding so many things, there were several solutions, alternate solutions. One of the alternatives, the demand of partition of our country. This was even supported by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 1942 Quit India movement be launched due to the failure of the Cripps mission, and INA was also there. Okay children, tomorrow we will meet. Thank you.